Hello, my name is Vigil. This is my stream journal. The day is 5/8/2022, or Mother's Day. I shaved my head on my birthday as part of my A-list program, kind of initiation into it. I don't look good, but I don't know if I ever do. Anyways, I've been working out. I got a gym membership on my birthday, and I've worked out every single day since then. So, no, that can't be right. I've worked out for the past 3 days. So, do the math, I guess. Things are going well. I'm unrepressing a lot of anger and resentment towards other people, and I find myself doing these saying the stupidest shit inside my head. It's not violent per se. It's sarcastic and sardonic, with a little bit of apathy towards what I'm saying. But it's the cycle of trauma, or however you want to define it, where I'm in agony and then I feel great, then I'm in agony and then I feel great. It's starting to modulate more to just feeling good all the time, not necessarily like an ecstatic joy or whatever, but just a contentment or a happiness. What else? So it's Mother's Day. My mother is awesome. Without her, I would be homeless, dead, or something worse. My fondest memory of her is when I was very little. We were in the bathroom. All the lights were off except for a wall light. She was holding me, humming Amazing Grace, soothing me because I had a horrible headache. I used to get them when I was little. No idea what caused them. They went away after I started using Adderall and doing meditation in my teenage years, when I was super peaceful and relaxed. And no anger problems, just emotional deficit needs not being met from when I had been isolated a couple of years before then. Yeah, I don't know what caused those headaches, but my fondest memory of her is when I was in just complete agony, but she was holding me in her arms, soothing me. And she's just a good person overall. I read a little bit the other day. I read some about Freemasons, and I read about psychology. And it's already been 5 days since my birthday. I've been 30 years old now for 5 days. The day of, I felt like I'd just instantly become an adult. 30, it was always in my mind an adult. 20s was something else. My 20s sucked, but I mean, it was your brain doesn't stop developing until you're 28, and then it prunes, and neuroplasticity continues indefinitely until you're old. You can still learn, which means your brain is still modulating. I don't know. A lot of my belief systems fell apart when I got arrested. I thought I was conventional, or I thought I was, so there's, in sociology, you have pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional ethics. Pre-conventional is essentially you do good things and good things will happen to you, or bad things and bad things will happen. It's what children have because we operate and condition them rather than using logic and stuff, which I don't know why. They're old enough to understand it by the time they're 6 or 7. But then conventional is where you do what the rest of society says to do because you want to fit in. So your ethics are based upon social pressure, social cohesion, social coercion. And that's what most teenagers have, and it's what most adults have. I thought I was post-conventional because I thought that I was of a different I don't know. I just thought I made my own decisions about what I thought was ethical and what I didn't. And then when I got arrested, my ethics went to shit because I was ostracized and cut off from the rest of society because I was conventional ethics. And so suddenly, with all of society condoning what I saw as something horrible and having this confliction in me because I knew what was being done was wrong, but everyone else was okay with it, and I didn't understand how they could be okay with it, and it really hurt me because it affected me. That's selfish, psychological egoism, but whatever. And then I realized that hatred, for me, was the precursor to becoming post-conventional. And post-conventional, I had in my mind, the reason I thought I was post-conventional, was that I thought that morality naturally landed on ethical behavior that is upright, essentially, as you would find in any of the major world religions, plus or minus their customs and nuances and shit. Basically, love your neighbor and whatnot. That's not post-conventional at all. Like, post-conventional can be the most abhorrent ethical standard compared to what our society says is okay, and that is post-conventional, because you decide your own ethics based upon your own logic and reasoning. So as I entered post-conventional, I was suddenly without this foundation, like without this firm foundation of what was ethical and what wasn't, because the society itself had fallen apart. It's still functioning, but it's fallen apart completely. It condones some of the most abhorrent things as a mob, while blinding itself with the cognitive dissonance to what it's doing. It's not. Society just isn't functioning right now. And you can see that when you watch Twitter or when you watch TV. I can see it, at least. I think other people can see it too. But so post-conventional ethics, which is where everyone should eventually reach, I believe. I think should, as you older, it forms part of your character to have your own ethics. But they're not what you think they are. They're like Sonic the Hedgehog has this character named like Gray Knuckles or something like that. He's the gray character. I can't remember his real name. But like, his ethics is to destroy everything because he knows everything is evil. That's post-conventional. Jesus Christ, during the time, he wasn't post-conventional, really, I would say, up until the time they nailed him to the cross. Because like, the mob supported him for the most part. There was a couple times they went to stone him and didn't, but that's just mob reaction. Like, when he was being told by the mob that he had done a wrong, and they were killing him for it, and he decided not to repent of his sin, what they said was sin, was post-conventional in my opinion. Like, modern era post-conventional ethics, like, it's not like a model thing that like is a antithesis of what your conventional society says. So antisocial just like behavior isn't automatically post-conventional ethics, but it can be. Like, and so I guess today I found myself infuriated, like I sometimes am, just because I feel horrible. It feels like there's an electrode in my head, and like I can't think straight without thinking thoughts that I don't want to think. And like, my syntax is all screwed up in my head, so sometimes I talk as if what I'm trying to say and like what I think isn't always correct to what I'm trying to say and think, like as it comes off. Connotation, nuances, meaning, context, semantics, pragmatics are all screwed up because of syntax. But I was raging today as I was working, and like I started thinking all this derogatory stuff, just really derogatory stuff towards other people regarding race, regarding, like, maybe I was sarcastically saying, well, maybe the neo-Nazis are right. And like I started thinking about like the movie Fight Club and stuff, and like I started in my head saying parts of the movie because I know it's like antisocial, and I was trying to be antisocial because I was pissed off. It was like a play, like it was a form of childish play, you know, but it's the adult version of it, which is always more vulgar and kind of meaner. But I was doing it, and like when I was younger, hold on one sec. Cigarettes, they'll kill you. When I was younger, my mom was super sensitive about race because my sister's a different father, and like we have different blood, I guess. And I'm pissed off at my sister right now, so I started thinking like this derogatory shit towards her regarding race because my mom told me not to, and I was all pissed off at everyone. And that's the first time I've ever really done that. Like, the past couple of weeks is like really the first time I've ever used race as a sardonic hatred. And like, I started thinking about it, like I was trying to do the antithesis of what I was taught as morally upright. And like, it's hard to do that for me because I was a moralist for a really long time. I was a moralist. Like, my whole world revolved around trying to figure out and do what was upright at any cost. That's why I lost my eye. There's a raven and a pigeon that had sex around here, and their babies are just the creepiest looking things ever. But I was a moralist. I lost my eye because of it. Like, someone told me it was immoral to have my eye because it was a log, and which some pastor translated to something else. So in an act of self-mortification, I removed it. Hardcore shit. I was of the religion. But it wasn't delusionary. It was just literally the teachings that I was taught as moral ethics. And I wanted to do what I thought was morally upright. But then when I got arrested and society, I felt, had just collapsed from underneath me, this firm foundation which had always guilted me and corroded my belief systems and of like what I think is morally right, which I always felt was the same as everyone else's, and we were all just post-conventional and the stupidest ideas ever. But sorry, a slight headache, like an epilepsy seizure or something. So like, society started to collapse around me, and like, I was targeted, ostracized, and tortured, essentially. Like, far worse than the pain in my eye was the pain I felt in my head during the time in isolation and shit. And like, so my morality, pre-conventional morality, was with my mother and my father, and they had both different belief systems, and I went back and forth every couple of days, which was alright. You know, I didn't mind it. When I was growing up, I hated it, to be honest. But then conventional ethics, I never really fit in. I don't think I ever really fit in with any group of people. Then I thought I was post-conventional because I was cutting my flesh to please a demon god, essentially. And then that was reality, though. That was just pressure by society to do it. It wasn't because I was saintly or ethical. It was just social coercion to maintain social cohesion. I thought it was post-conventional because it was more extreme and radical than most people are willing to do. But it's just because I was more easily under the sway of society, I think. And then when I got arrested, I went to post-conventional, and instantly my ethics became dark. Sardonic humor, the most sardonic, apathetic, nihilistic humor you can get. And like, I'm saying that a lot, and like, but then I started reasoning through all these like war games that I was playing on my computer, text-based games about to strengthen and sharpen my mind while I was having these headaches again that were just agonizing, combined with this emotional sensation that was like emotional obliteration, complete emotional isolation. Not like isolation in the sense that you can't feel your emotions, but in the sense that I was just completely without friends or family, anyone to trust, in a hostile environment while I was being tortured with these headaches and drugs, and like in an environment that was just horrible with psyops and shit for years. And as I started rationalizing and reasoning through it, I started forming my own post-conventional ethics. But they still conflict with the superego narration that my mother and father and the society built around me when I was growing up, which was never meant to serve me. Essentially, I feel like your ethics should serve a purpose for you. Mine never did. But that was my day, I guess. What I was thinking about today when I was raging subconsciously. And like, it's Mother's Day, and so I'm thinking about like all the good times I had with my mother. And there was a lot of them, more good than bad. The problem is that I feel that the good was just a way to really screw me over later in life. She's a fantastic woman. There's literally no other person who could have done as well as she did that I know of, considering who I am and everything, what kind of person I am. The good aspects of me, I have her to thank for it. and I recognize that some of my character flaws are my own fault, not willingly, begrudgingly, and it's only going to happen on this day that I acknowledge that. But so A-list program, it's gonna continue. I have this weird thing where I'll be on a subject for several days, go to sleep, wake up, completely forget I was on it. A couple of days pass by, and then I recall it. It's like a long-term interlude, I guess. But so now I'm post-conventional. I have somehow merged Nietzschean philosophy, and I guess that's what they call it, Nietzsche's philosophies regarding the Übermensch, like with my own belief system about the metahuman and post-conventional ethics, combined with like really having lived the society's belief system, or at least the ideal form of it, the best I could. The upright man, you know, like the idiot from Chavatsky, or Davatsky, or whatever his name is. I don't know what I believe in right now. There's just so much going on regarding like psychological torture that coerced me, brainwashing, re-education camps and shit that mask themselves as mental health, and a justice system trafficking me, cops that I feel are harassing me even though they're just driving by. Yeah, I don't know. What is there to say for the rest of the day? If only there was a way to stay and play. Stay in the sense of not execute. I don't know. That's it for the day.